Hi, it's Sarah from mynaturalbabybirth.com. So last time we talked about the different stages of birth. Well, today we're going to talk about the 3 different stages of labor. Because before it all, the part you got to get through is the labor, which is often talked about and has the most misunderstandings and horror stories around, but can actually be the easiest, quickest part if you let it. So what are the different stages of labor? So you've got early labor, active labor, and transitional labor. So what are the differences? Early labor is typically before you're dilated 4 centimeters. Not always, but that's a general rule. Before you have dilated 4 centimeters wide. And early labor can be very few and far between. It can feel like period cramps. It can feel like hard Braxton Hicks. They can be not distinguishable as contractions because they can be so far apart. And it can go on for weeks and weeks of early labor. And most moms actually don't even know they're in early labor. You can often have early labor where there is no distinguishable pain or contractions or any sorts of labor feelings and the like. But what's happening is your body is still getting ready. The baby is nestling down as far as they can in your pelvis, and you're starting to dilate. You're mostly effacing. So effacing is when your cervix gets thinner. Because normally it's about 1 inch thick. But when you efface, it gets thinner and then it opens up. It mostly effaces and then it starts to open up. So early labor is more when your cervix is getting flatter, soft, really, really soft. And then it starts to open those first few centimeters. That's early labor. Not very noticeable. Second part of labor is active labor. This typically starts around 4 centimeters and goes to typically 7 to 8 centimeters. This is when you know you're in labor. You feel the consistencies. You feel labor contractions. You have back labor, or you have strong contractions down underneath. You're timing them, and they're typically 4 or 5 minutes to 15-20 minutes apart, your contractions, if you're timing them, and they're lasting about 30 seconds to a minute for each contraction. This is when your cervix is really doing the work. It's really opening up from 4 centimeters up to, that's not to scale because of the screen, but for me, up to about 7 to 8 centimeters before you're ready to push. Now, this is often the longest part of labor. Well, I take that back. Early labor can be super long, but most moms often don't even know they're going through it. The middle portion of active labor feels like the longest because can be the most intense, can be the most prolonging. This is where things can take forever. This is where you can get a stalled labor, where the mom can get stressed because she's actually feeling contractions. It can last anywhere from 45 minutes up to 36, 48 hours. But a first-time mom, her average labor, very general average labors, 10 to 12 hours of active labor. This is when you want to be moving. You do not want to be sitting. You do not want to be laying down. You can be in a pool of water. You can be in a shower, rocking back and forth on your hands and knees, relaxing, meditating, and just allowing your body to be. That's active labor. The final part of labor is transitional labor. This is when we're going from about 7 to 8 centimeters all the way open to fully dilated 10 centimeters. And this is the most intense part of labor, right before your body starts helping you push the baby out. It feels the most intense, but it's also very quick. It can happen in one contraction. It can happen in 30 seconds. It can last up to about half an hour. And so, I gotta let my dog out. So transitional labor is quick. One of my last transitional labor with my third son was in one contraction. That contraction lasted about 2.5 minutes, but that's all there was. Oh my gosh. So transitional labor is very intense. It can be very orgasmic if you've prepped yourself to have a more enjoyable labor, but it's quick. It's when you've got that last little bit to open up before you really feel your uterus kick in to bear down and push that baby out. So we had early labor, active labor, and transitional. They get faster and faster with each one, but they can feel longer and longer as you go because of their intensity. But again, you can do many, many things to make your labor more enjoyable, make it calm, make it relaxing, and actually make it feel good. I put all of my relaxation tips in my ebook, 3 Relaxation Through Childbirth, 3 Simple Ways to Ease Tension and Enhance Joy. You can get a copy at mynaturalbabybirth.com/relax. Everything I did in there saved my life, and I had fantastic births that I want you to experience too. So, if you're still a little confused on the differences between stages of labor and stages of birth, rewatch this video and rewatch the one just previous to this, and you'll see where it all fits in and you know exactly where you are. If you have questions, let me know. Bye.